Well, hello everybody, welcome back. Jiujitsu2000 here today. Man, I'm back. It's November. I'm excited. It's time for a November overnighter. Stay with me. I hope you enjoy it. It's going to be fun. This is such a beautiful place. I'm a little bit winded right now. This hike, but it's so beautiful. All the leaves have fallen, and I found myself in this amazing landscape. What I'm seeing straight in front of me is just stunning. Beautiful aspen trees. This is the location. I think I'm going to stop right here pretty soon. And I'm going to call this my place for this month. Oh man. Look at this. This is just amazing. The temperatures are beautiful right now. So amazing. I wish you guys were with me. Temperatures are amazing right now, but tonight it's going to get cold. And I'm going to be prepared. This is some really light punky wood. I'm looking to see if I can find some of this that's dry. I might try to use this to get a fire going. I have a Fresnel lens that I generally keep in my pocket. The objective of these Fresnel lenses is to focus the beam to a very small beam, and if you can get something like this punk wood to capture that heat, that solar energy, these things will smolder for a long time while you get your tinder bundle ready. Then you have the ability of just coming over and blowing it to flame. And we have that ignition there. So I can just let that sit. You know, I might even light this other one if it'll go. So you basically take that square and you move the lens until you get it as small as you can. And then you remove it and see if it's still smoking. And in our case it is. And this stuff works very good for making fire. It'll just sit there and smolder until I put it into a tinder bundle. So I'm just going to leave this stuff basically sitting right here in the road where it's safe. Put my Fresnel lens away. You might be wondering why did I choose this method? Why not use my lighter or my ferro rod? Well, the sun is a renewable resource. A lighter takes sparks off of that flint, and it also uses fuel. Something like this is free. Every time I strike my ferro rod, I lose a fire, so to speak, in the long-term value of that. So this cost me nothing. Right here in that dirt patch there, I'm going to make a little fire there. I'll just let it sit there and smolder. And I'll use this little one. You could even probably break it in two and use whichever one you want. I'm just going to take the layers that look like they might be the driest. This top little bit right here should work. And then like this stuff here looks fairly dry. Some of it does. Let's take it back and go back over there and see what we can do here. Yeah, this stuff's a little bit damp, that one is. This one feels like it could be a bit dry. Just working with those little fibers. What I need is something for the ember to attach to. And then once this stuff catches, then it'll catch the grass. So let's take this. Let's lay it right in the middle of that. Just like so. We're going to put the hot end right against it. Is that camera angle good? There's our fire. Right there in the middle of the road. Put that there. We'll put this wet stuff on. There's strips here. What'll happen is this wet stuff will dry. That's the hope anyway. So I'm looking for any kind of little grass or anything, little pine needles and stuff like that, just to lay on there. And there's plenty of stuff right here where I'm at. Little sticks. That's one of the cool things about the fall. You got dry leaves and all kinds of stuff that you can throw on your fire. That's beautiful. See, look at that. That gives me a nice little shelf to lay stuff against. There we go. Perfect. Now I've determined that directly behind you is the east. Directly off in this direction is the west. You can see the sun behind me. So there's two trees right here, 1, 2. I'm planning on putting my shelter right here on a ridge line between these two trees. Okay, I've got my shelter built. I got my orange pad down. The orange pad is just for air, and this green one is actually an insulation. So I gotta blow this up a little more. I gotta get it a little tighter. But what this green pad will do is it'll break conduction so I won't lose my body heat. The tarp ahead, even though I got the vestibule and the fly on, the tarp ahead just gives me another layer of protection against radiation and wind. For the most part, this Trekker 1.75 pad is self-inflating for the most part. It just takes a few blows to get it up to thickness and to get the stiffness that I want. This pad is 1 3/4 of an inch thick, and it'll give me a lot of comfort. Yeah, that's comfortable. And the cool thing about this tent is it has a little vestibule out here, so in the morning I can cook or whatever I need to do if I choose to. This is the REI Passage 2 is the name of this tent. So I think, trying to decide if I want my feet down there. Feels good both ways, to be honest. Kind of thinking I'll put my head up here. So again, we've got our sleeping bag. This is the Everest Elite. This one is, I think, down to 0. And I've got to get this thing lofted up, get it fluffed up so it'll give me some good insulation factor tonight. So I just got to get it going. It's staying in that stuff sack. It doesn't have a lot of opportunity to fluff up, I guess you could say, to get loft in it. Check this out. In this pocket, I have fire making ability, right there in my bedroll. So if I ever forget that, it's right there. If I ever forget my Fresnel lens. Yeah, this thing's just gonna need a little time to loft up, and I should be plenty comfortable in this shelter tonight. I've got an extra coat, got a sweater, and another pair of pants if I need it. And if I don't need all this extra stuff, it can go in this stuff sack and be used as a pillow. Wow. It's about 1:30, almost 2 o'clock. It's actually 1:41. And I'm laying here in this tent. Temperatures are awesome. It's nice. I believe it's around 42 degrees right now. And it feels great in here. You know, the sun's coming down on it. I've got the door open behind you. And I've got plenty of room. One of the reasons that I use a 2-person tent is for 1 person and my gear. Plus it leaves me a little bit of room to put a candle and have space for that candle to burn. Right now I got this candle. This is something that I keep in my vehicle, and all it is it's Crisco. Okay, so I stab a mop, cotton mop head. I take one of the threads and I just stab it down into the Crisco with a stick. Now, you're probably wondering, how do I get the Crisco in here? Well, I warm it up to where it's liquid. I pour it in this jar and then I let it solidify. And then I take a stick and I shove this mop head string down in here. And it's a very clean burning candle. And this thing will last for a long time. One of the cool things about using the Crisco, it's vegetable oil. So it's not bad as far as fumes in your tent and stuff like that. This tent behind me right here, through this air, it's got some little vents here. So if you're going to be cooking or something in the tent, you can open these little vents and allow airflow out, so carbon monoxide buildup is not going to be such a big factor here. This is my little light. It's on my water bottle. Whoops, got a little leak there. It's on my water bottle, and it's basically high and then low, and we'll see how this works tonight. I don't know how good it's going to be. I have a little bit of Gatorade powder and an empty bottle here, so if I get thirsty and I want some orange Gatorade, I'll just put some water in there. But right now, this tent feels great. The pads feel good. Having the rain fly above the tent plus the added layer of tarp above, it just I think that's going to help really well tonight. We'll find out what the temperatures are like, and I'm excited. This trip is fun. This is such an amazing area to be in. I just wish that Miss Bella and the girls were here. Butter and herb noodles. So it's a fettuccine with the butter flavored herb sauce. Sounds pretty good. I guess I'll go ahead and do my Gatorade while I'm waiting on that to heat up. So let's go ahead and pour that in there. You know, the cool thing about this stove is you don't have to crank the thing all the way up. You can just relax and do a nice easy job getting everything going. It doesn't have to be crazy fast. You know, you don't have to boil the water in 2 minutes. That's 2 cups of water in there. And if I'm just patient, it'll come up to a boil. I can crank it up if I want to. At this altitude, I could probably flip that canister over and use it in liquid feed mode and get a little more performance out of the stove. But I'm not in a hurry. I'm out here just enjoying life, so it's not that big of a deal for me. I'm just having a good time and really enjoying where I'm at. Turn that baby down. It says we need to boil this thing for 7 minutes. Of course, I'm not going to make you guys watch all of that. I don't want to bore you guys. My supper is officially done. Now I'm going to let it sit. Turn my stove off. I'm just going to let this sit and kind of solidify a little bit. And I will be eating soon. This smells really good, and you know, temperatures are dropping, so it's important to put some food in my body. That food in my body helps me stay warm during the night because my body will be processing that food. So that's one of the tricks that helps anyway to stay warm. Is so if you have animals, you know, horses or goats or something like that, you know, cows or anything like that, feed them at night when there's a storm coming. I just heard a motorcycle and a quad go by on that little trail. Today was a wonderful day. The weather was amazing, and I'm curious what the temperatures are going to feel like tonight. Like I said, I talked to the fella at Home Depot. He said that it was 19 at his house yesterday, and he expects it to be at 15 tonight, and that's just in Flagstaff. And I'm about 1,200 feet higher than Flagstaff, so it might be cold. This is delicious. Hot though, still hot. Very tasty though. The candle is actually very effective though for reaching a temperature in a tent. This tent rather, it has a kind of a mesh. So in cold temperatures, this is just a 3-season tent. It's not a 4-season tent. So in cold temperatures, this mesh is kind of like a screen door, you know, really. So your temperatures don't stay in as good as like a 4-season tent would. So that's one of the reasons why I put that extra layer above and 2 pads below me. So I'm definitely breaking conduction. I put the rain fly, so I'm breaking convection and bringing the radiation back. So I have a good chance at staying warm. This food has really made me feel good. My feet were cold a few minutes ago, but now my feet are warm. Your feet are a big indicator as to your body's core temperature. A lot of people think that their feet just got cold. That's not true. If your feet are cold, it's because your core is cold. So my feet are feeling good. Just like last time in October, I'm not going to use much water to clean my pot. Just a little bit. It's not going to take much. I always try to clean my pot when I'm done eating instead of just setting it aside, because in the morning, you know, when it's cold and you want to get going, it's nice to have clean pot so you can just start cooking, right? So I was at REI today, and I was looking around. They were having a sale. They had an item on clearance. It was a tent, sleeping pad, and a bedroll. It was the Camp Dome 2, which is almost the same tent as this. I don't think it has as much mesh, so that tent might actually be warmer. This tent is like 4 inches longer, but that one was like 2 inches wider. And the bedroll was just your basic 30-degree bedroll, nothing fancy. But I thought, you know what? That might be a good deal, because they were selling the whole package for $149 on clearance. So I thought, man, that might be something worth looking into, or and even more possibly purchasing, you know. I'm gonna dump this out. I just thought that was a very good deal, because this tent here alone, I think I paid $199 just for the tent, and it's been great. I've used it on many trips. I don't know, to get a tent, a pad, and a bedroll, even if you don't, you know, like a 30-degree bedroll, not that significant of a bedroll, but if you just use it for conduction barrier and then get yourself a better bedroll, you could totally do that, right? If you're curious about this pot, this is not an MSR pot. This is the Zebra. Cool thing about the Zebra, let me see here behind you. It comes with another little pot that fits inside, and then it has a lid. You can see the symbol right there where it says Zebra. It's kind of like the MSR. You know, me being a reviewer of products, I bring a lot of different things in, and I look at them, you know, I kind of compare them against others, and I brought this in, and this is a good pot. Another good one that I like is the Comfort Loft. However, I haven't seen those being available on Amazon for quite some time. I don't know if they're still making them or what, but one thing that I've learned about stainless steel pots is it seems like the best ones are made in Thailand. So like this one, the metal is really robust, very thick. It's a heavy pot, and it works great. You know, obviously you could see that I was cooking it over my Optimus Polaris stove. It works great. I'm in the mood for some bow drill practice. I'm in the mood for some friction fire. So let's go take a look. I think if I was to cut right here and right here, I would have this section that I think would work good for friction fire. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that piece out, and then we'll take a look and see if it's going to work for us. And of course, one of the nice things about cutting this wood by hand is it's starting to get chilly, and this physical exertion, this activity, will get my blood pumping and it'll get me warmed up. Looks like it's got a little bit of a bind. Move that there. Hopefully I'll be able to get through it. Aspen wood is a very good wood for friction fire. There we go. Yeah, this looks fairly good. I'm looking at the wood here, and it looks like it's going to be perfect. Set that down, and then we'll get our next piece just right here above this knot. And then this section should be enough wood to get the spindle, the hearth, the whole set. Other than the bow, of course. So we'll cut that. We'll cut right here. Yeah, got a little close to the knot there, but that's okay. We'll be able to baton out of that. And I think this will be my fire kit out here. It's going to be fun. I've got my hearth here. I have my catch that's going to go underneath the hearth that insulates it from the ground. It's also going to be the board that I'm going to use to catch my ember. And I have my spindle. So the rest of this wood that's laying here, this is just stuff that I'm going to use to put on my fire if I get ignition. I do have a ferro rod, I do have a lighter, but I'm just doing this for the challenge of it. So I'm going to set this stuff right here. These little extra pieces of wood can be batoned down and used for kindling, but for the most part, I'm just going to set that set right there. I'm going to go find some more tinder material like this, and I'm also going to find something to use as a bow and something to use as a bearing block. I'm kind of pressed for time, so I'm a little bit in a hurry to get started. I want to try to get some kind of burn-in going, so I don't know what's going to happen here. Looks like it's working okay. Just getting a little burn-in done. Okay, my bow's getting loose. Tighten that up a little bit. And it looks like my bearing block is working okay for what it is. It's nothing fancy. But it is working. I'm basically going to make a little bit of a notch. So I'm making some lines so I can follow them with my saw. And I'm pressed for time. The sun's going down. And I kind of did a no-no. I'm kind of running my bow uphill a little bit towards you. That's not a very good idea because the bow always hits the ground up there. Okay, that looks good. It took me a lot of practice with this Big Boy 2000 to get to where I could cut notches effectively, because the teeth are so large on this saw. But now, I can honestly say that I believe I've got this saw figured out, where I know exactly what I can get away with. So we're just doing a little bit of carving here on the bottom of the hearth. And that looks good. Little flatter. There we go. Should be ready to go. I just don't like rushing, but unfortunately I kind of need to. I don't want to run out of daylight without some sort of fire option. See if we can get... I'm not going to go crazy just yet because I have to make a pile of dust. So it's all about making dust right now. I have a good pile of dust. Now it's to the point of ignition. All right, let's get the camera to come take a look here. So you can see, I got my ember. Now I'm in no rush, but I do need to make a little bit of time because my battery indicator's down to 1 level. So I'm going to take this little bit of bird's nest, set it over here, and lay my ember in there. Put this in this little bit of grass. Just going to kind of taco it around. Now we have fire, folks. Ah, that was nice. Worked out good. So very quickly, before I get too ahead of myself, I need to get a little bit of a fire lay going. Little pieces. Get them going. The good thing is a lot of this stuff is dry. So just these tiny little thin pieces. Get them going. All the little scraps and stuff that were here from when I made my set are here. This is perfect. Oh, what a beautiful fire. What a beautiful fire. Life is good. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus. My spindle, my hearth. Nothing too crazy. There's my catch. And there's my bearing block. And then my bow, just a piece of aspen that was slightly bent. I found it on the ground. So that's my set. You know, it's such a good feeling when you can make fire by friction, when you can make primitive fire. It's been a while since I did it, so this one was a little bit of a challenge. I actually thought that I was going to lose it there for a second. I thought that it wasn't going to go. But patience paid off. That's a big thing when it comes to friction fire, or just fire in general, is patience. Just be patient. Take your time. Oh, that was a lot of fun. Oh, bow drill practice. Oh, it's getting colder. Temperatures are dropping. Sun's going down. Thank God I have a shelter here. I'm gonna just relax now. Kick back a little bit. Maybe eat some supper here in a little bit. But that was a lot of fun. My candle's doing good. I've got my Olight model S2R2 fired up. Getting ready to get my headlamp out. This is the H1 Nova. I really like this headlamp. I bought this on a whim. And the moonlight mode on this headlamp is awesome. You know, check that out. You just it's in lockout mode right now. So this headlamp is amazing. It's a 2 lumen mode on the lowest mode on Firefly, and that's a lot of light. I keep this in my bedroll so I'm not drinking cold fluids. I'm probably going to cook again. Maybe have some ramen noodles or something. Just something right before I go to bed. Just something to give me that last little boost. And then let's take a look at this bottle light. Let's see. It's not really dark enough to look at it yet, but that's high. That's low. So that's what I'll be dealing with for light. That's pretty cool, huh? Well, I just got back from my hike. I went over to the truck and got a milk jug. I had this in the back of the truck. So this is basically my pee bucket for tonight. I decided that I wanted to make some more food, so I'm gonna make some chicken and dumplings, kind of like a soup. And this is some chicken breast that I'm gonna add to the soup. But I'm a little frustrated right now because I had a P38 can opener with me. And I had it with me here in the tent, but I don't know where I set it. So I hate when that happens. I got my BK7, and that's not to open this, of course. This is to open the chicken. Kind of rocking it. I think that might be enough to get the chicken out. I don't have to like open it the whole way. There we go. Now we'll put the chicken in there, broth and everything. We're gonna make some really hearty stew. So there's the chicken. Now this other one, really nice, very simple pull tab type can. I spilled some on my tent. Oh well, it is what it is, it happens. It's a good thing I have a bandana. Now all these food smells here, I might be camping, I might be hiking that back to the truck before I go to bed. So I might just put this on a simmer. Put a lid on it for a little bit and just let it simmer. Oh, that vestibule sure makes it nice. I'll tell you what, that thing keeps it a lot warmer in here. It breaks the wind, so it gives me a nice little area to cook. Breaks the wind and makes it a lot more comfortable. I'm just really happy to be out here. I love coming out like this. It's almost like a reset of the batteries, you know. I get to come out and do my thing, you know, and it's such a nice thing. You know, life is sometimes hectic and work all the time and then kids and, you know, and then you need to get an escape where you come out like this and do your thing. It's very nice, very needed at times. I wish you guys could smell this right now. The smell is amazing. It smells so good. What I'm trying to do right now is I'm just trying to boil it down a little bit to thicken it up. But man, this stuff is amazing. That chicken that I put in there, big old chunks of chicken. Carrots, potatoes, green beans. Oh, this is going to be delicious. And right before bed, you know, it's always good, I think, to have a good meal on a cold night before you go to bed. I haven't heard those coyotes again, so I'm kind of wondering what they're doing. My stove, my Optimus Polaris stove, is performing amazing. It's such a cool stove. I have the quiet cap on it, so it's not all loud. But this is really what life's about, folks. Just getting out, enjoying life, and experiencing nature. Camping, you know, sleeping under the stars. I have a lot of protection over me, but that's because we're in November. It's really cold. So I'm out here getting this soup going. It's such an amazing thing, you know, to be out here, to get out, you know, live life, see nature. So amazing. I checked my phone just a minute ago and it's 26 degrees in Flagstaff right now. And I'm about 1,200 feet higher in altitude than Flagstaff, so I'm guessing maybe 24, 25 out here. They expect a low tonight of 15. We'll go ahead and close up here. I don't need to be out there anymore. Yeah, I'm just so happy to be out here. It's just amazing. And the temperatures, even though the temperatures are cold, it's not that bad in here. It's not that bad. I don't even have my other coat on yet, or my sweater. So I'm doing great. These Olights, this S2R Baton 2, this thing is awesome. It puts out such good light, and I'm really digging this water bottle lantern. I think this thing's cool. If you see my candle there, you notice I have about 6 to 8 inches from any walls, from anything overhead. That's really important because I don't want to be letting that candle get too close to the side. And I don't really move around too much in my sleep. So if you're going to use that candle idea and you're a mover in the night, you might want to reconsider and maybe look into getting a UCO candle lantern. Those things are awesome. I have a couple of those UCO candle lanterns and they're awesome. I just didn't bring one on this trip. So I'm planning on putting some warm water in this bottle and having a foot heater tonight. Almost done. This soup has hit the spot. This MSR spoon is pretty cool. It has the wrenches to work on the stoves. And it's got these little holes here so you can clean the fuel line out. Stainless steel, very durable spoon. Pretty cool. Getting all the last little bits of flavor and stuff out of here. Ah, that was warm. I can feel it going all the way down. Nice and warm. That felt good. I just checked my phone and we are down to 19 degrees. So I thought that was a little bit crazy. Clean this up. What do you know? It's frozen. It's got ice on it. See that? That's crazy. It's got ice on the inside of the thing. Look at that. That's crazy. I thought it was just water on there, but no. It's iced up. It's not cold in this tent though. Got the door open, but the temperatures in the tent are still good because of the vestibule. And it's probably nice because I've got the I have the stove going, you know, heating up this water. This will be our heater. This will go down in the foot of my bedroll. I'm going to put that down there now. Get my bedroll nice and hot. Down there. Listen over my shoulder. Coyotes. Really carrying on. They're done. Got my pillow. I've got this extra little blanket. I always like throwing something over my face like this. When I sleep, I just always do that. My candle is safely tucked away. I don't have anything near it that's going to get in the way or anything like that. Today was an amazing day. I had a great time. My stomach is full. My body is warm. I'm ready for bed. My feet, that water bottle is actually hot to my feet, so it's perfect because over time, you know, it's going to slowly get cooler. But the cool thing about the water bottle down there is in the morning, my body heat will keep that water warm enough, so in the morning I'm drinking that instead of this, which is a lot colder. And I was surprised that that metal lid had made ice already on it. That blew me away. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you in the morning. Good night. I love you all. Sweet dreams, everybody. Bye-bye. Good morning. Oh, I slept great last night. How you guys doing this morning? This bedroll kept me really warm. I didn't even put on my sweat jacket or my other coat. I didn't need them. I have my socks off still. The water bottle idea worked out great as a heater for my feet. The temperature last night got down to 17. But I felt great in here. The bedding, the pad beneath me was perfect. I didn't feel any cold coming up from the ground. You can see my heat off of my breath. I think the temperature right now is starting to climb. I think it's about 19 right now. This worked great last night. Doesn't leak or anything like that. I just throw it down in there and I don't kick it. I just put my feet on it real soft. Yeah, let's see, I got windy like I said. Temperatures weren't bad in here. My candle worked out perfect, and I'm really glad that I brought a jug to pee in, because last night before I actually laid down, about 10 o'clock last night, I peed, and then I peed again at like 2 in the morning, and then again this morning. So 3 times I used that jug. That made it really nice because I didn't have to open the vestibule and get out and let all the cold air in. I was able to stay in my tent and keep the temperatures in here, and that worked out really good. There's ice in this bag. This is my water, and it's got chunks of ice in it. It's pretty crazy. So I'm going to have 3 little bags of oatmeal. Get this morning started. I love this Optimus Polaris stove. It just performs so well. Such a good stove. Breakfast is always good in the morning when you're cold. Give us a little bit of water in there. Let that soak in. Yeah, that might be plenty right there. That's the perfect amount. Right there. I don't measure nothing. I just pour until I think it's enough. Maple and brown sugar is my favorite. Had some warm water here in my cup. I cleaned my cup. I'm going to drink this water, and I'm going to start packing up. I've blown my candle out. It's time for me to get up and break camp and call it a day. If you put boiling hot water in these, it'll only work a couple of times before it starts barely leaking. And you got to be real careful, because if you put pressure on it, the cap can pop off and it could wet your whole bedroll. So just be aware of that, because the boiling hot water changes the dimensions of the bottle. So if you got an Nalgene bottle or something like that, that's a much better option. And the best option, I believe, is a stainless steel bottle. And then I use this as a kind of a nesting cup rag, I guess you could call it. Because I set that there like this, and then I put that baby right down in there, and that keeps this thing silent, other than the loose stuff inside. Normally I have a couple paper towels or something inside, but I don't have those right now. But it keeps these from rattling. I'm putting my Optimus Polaris away, and there's enough room to put a small 4-ounce fuel canister in the bag as well. So just in case you didn't know, you can do that. say thank you for joining me on this month's November overnighter. I'm all packed up. I'm ready to go home. It's been a lot of fun. But it's time to call it a wrap. It's time to call it an end. All I can do now is look forward to December. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video with me, November overnighter. It was a lot of fun. I can't wait for December. It's going to be a really nice video. I got something in mind already. So I hope you guys leave comments down below, like this video, share this video, and please stay tuned. I'd appreciate your support on all these overnighters, including December. We'll see you next time. I love you all. Have a beautiful day. Now get out, do some hiking, and enjoy this wonderful paradise that we have. It's so amazing. Life is good. This is what life is all about. Don't make no mistake about that. See you next month.